Welcome y'all, this is our Sunday afternoon dinner and we're going to do apricot stuffed chicken breast and it is delicious. Everybody probably in the South, even in the North too, has their own kind of recipe for stuffed chicken breast. You can stuff them with spinach, you can use dried tomatoes, artichokes. I mean, you can stuff them with so many things. We're going to do cream cheese today. Sometimes there's like apple bacon. There's just so many recipes. I even saw a Parmesan stuffed chicken breast, but this one is cream cheese. Cheese. It has to be softened because you're not going to get it mixed up otherwise. I couldn't anyway. And we've got a 1/4 cup of cheddar cheese in here. So it's a pound of cream cheese, 1/4 cup of cheddar cheese. I've got 2 pieces of bacon already cooked up, chopped up, ready to go. Set that over there. We'll stir that in. And then we're just going to add some other ingredients and stir them up. This is really just the filling that we're going to do. Then we'll stuff it in the chicken breast and then we'll cook them. But this filling, all of this part here, you could make up the day before. If you want to do some prep on Saturday and fix this on Sunday, or do this on Sunday afternoon and have it for Monday, you could mix all this filling up, have it ready to go, and then bang, supper's easy. I was short on time during the week. I do a lot of prepping. I do a lot of prepping on the weekend. If I know I'm going to make something during the week, I'm going to find some time to prep it on the weekend. We have a 1/2 cup of dried apricots cut in just little pieces, not big chunks. I mean, think about the size you want to eat because you're going to be eating that size, whatever it is. We got a 1/2 cup of dried cranberries, a 1/4 cup, I'm sorry, 1/4 cup of dried cranberries. We've got a 1/2 teaspoon of Worcestershire, and that just gives a little flavor. We've got a 1/2 teaspoon of hot sauce. See if we can get that out of there. It's not coming out real fast, is it? Kind of sticking. Now, hot sauce just gives a little bit of spice. We've got 3 teaspoons of powdered ranch. Now, you can make your own ranch. I make it a lot of times, and I'm just going to tell you how to make it. And if you want to make it up or you want to buy the powder, you can do it either way. But if you want to make ranch, here's my recipe that I use. And I've made many times. I've made it. You use a 1/2 teaspoon of dried buttermilk. I buy dried buttermilk. I like to use it a lot of times, so I'm often buying it anyway, and I have it on hand. 1 1/2 teaspoons of dried parsley. I'm gonna get my recipe up there so I can see it better, because I don't have it memorized. 2 teaspoons of dried dill. If you have dill out of your garden, you can use the dill seeds or the dill itself. 2 teaspoons of dried chives. I have chives in my garden. You can dry them and use them. If you want to keep it, if you're going to keep it long term, you can't use wet stuff. Obviously, you have to use dry. 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. Now you can adjust those. Sorry about the noise. You can adjust those to your taste. If you want more onion, less onion, more garlic, less garlic. I wouldn't change it too much until I tasted it, but you can always modify it to suit your taste. This is all about your cooking. You do you. That's the way it should be. You're going to mix all this in. We have a teaspoon of dried parsley. We have a scant teaspoon of sweet paprika. We have a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. Again, you can adjust this to your taste too. I have a teaspoon of dried thyme. If you use fresh, just use a little bit less. And a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I'm only going to put in a 1/4 of it because I'm going to taste. You want to taste it to have it to your taste again, how much salt you want, because that ranch seasoning has some salt in it too. We have a teaspoon of onion powder and a teaspoon of garlic powder. Alright, so we're just going to mix all this up. I don't know if it'd be easy to use my fork or my spoon. If that cream cheese is really softened, this part goes pretty fast. If it's not, you're going to have to let it soften. Or, I don't know, you might You could use a food processor, but all your fruit's going to get kind of munched up, I think, too much. If I did that, I wouldn't add the fruit until after I mixed it in the food processor. But this is a really good mixture. It's really good in your chicken. Family's going to love this. You can put in there whatever you want. You don't even have to use cream cheese. You can make more of a stuffing kind of breadcrumb kind of dressing filling. I've got many recipes for stuffed chicken, and I will do more. For Sunday dinner specials, I like to have a special meal on the weekend. Maybe you do yours on Saturday night. It seems like I have more time on Sunday afternoon. Saturdays tend to be kind of busy for some reason. Of course, during the week, it's always busy. It's just always busy. But you want this well mixed. Again, that's exactly what's going to be in your chicken. This is probably enough for 3 chicken breasts. Depends on how big or small they are. You want them big enough, again, you can slice them and cut them, so they need to be a little bigger. But if they're not quite as big, you might get 3 out of this. If they're real big, you might get 2. But this stuff is so good. It's left over, just make you another one the next night, or make another one and eat it left over. I'm good with leftovers. Are you? I love them. I love having something I can come in, especially if leftovers. A lot of times I'll just eat it for lunch. And if it's one thing left over, one chicken breast or something. But it's really, I like them. Heat them up. However you want to do it, air fryer, however you want to heat it up. And this is pretty mixed up, I think. So our next step is going to be to stuff it in our chicken breast. And we're going to cook it. I mean, it's so simple. We're going to stuff the chicken breast. I'm going to season it with salt and pepper. I've already washed and dried it. Paper towel dried it. We're going to stuff it, season it, stuff it. Just brown it in a pan, in a skillet, with some grease, some oil. And I have the bacon in here, as you saw, and actually I'm going to use my bacon grease because I like the flavor. But you want to put your grease in there, whatever kind of grease you want. And then I'm going to put them in the oven to finish off cooking, just 10-15 minutes. Just use the thermometer, make sure that chicken's done on the inside, and it's done. So if you mix this up ahead of time, and you had your chicken already kind of washed, cleaned, and split, you could come in and have dinner, a really good dinner on a weeknight in just a flash. And this will keep in the fridge overnight without any problem. Probably can keep it even a day, I don't know. It doesn't stay that long around here. Okay, I'm going to taste to make sure it's got enough salt. It has plenty of salt. Actually, I wouldn't even put that 1/4 teaspoon of salt in there, because it's just, to me, it's a little bit salty with that. I'd leave that out. That ranch has more than enough salt in it. Okay. I mean, it's not real bad, but I would leave it out. Yep. It's going to be fine, though. We're going to cook our chicken, and we're going to slice. Again, we said we just need a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And what I did, I put some salt and pepper in this bowl and a teaspoon of garlic powder. So I like the garlic on there. Just mix those up, and you just kind of hold it high and sprinkle. If you don't hold it high, it will clump up in one spot on you too much. So just kind of hold it high and sprinkle. And turn that over. And do the other side. Both sides to your meat seasoned. And then we're going to slice them and stuff them. These are so good. These are huge chicken breasts. There'll be some of this left over, I can assure you. I won't eat all this. I won't eat all of it. So, oh, about mine. That's a little much. That's a big chicken breast. But again, I'm good with it left over. If you don't have a big chicken breast, it's really hard to stuff it through. Okay, you take if you've ever done this, you have to have a good sharp knife, and you just take your hand on the top. And it's best to season it first because it's hard to season it after you do it right. And just slice. You just make a pocket. You don't want to go all the way through. You don't want to cut your hand either. But you just want to make a pocket in there. Your knife's good and sharp. That's all you need right there. Then we take our filling and we just stuff it. And then we'll stick some toothpicks in it. Hold it together while it's cooking, then you take the toothpicks out. So you can stuff that in there. And now there's enough here probably for 4 chicken breasts this size, and these are pretty good size. And you do want a good amount of filling in there, but there is enough there. Easily for 3, and I'm saying you could stretch this to 4. Okay, we take some toothpicks and just stick it in there, and that way you want to see the toothpick so you can get it out. Excuse me. But this helps hold it together while it's cooking. I'll probably, this size breast, I'll put in about 4, just to really hold it together. And then we're going to brown this in our skillet. I'll sprinkle just a little bit of flour on it, and then we'll brown it. And a little bit of flour on here because we're going to brown it in the skillet. Just kind of brush it off. And turn it over and do the other side. And then it's going to be ready to go in our pan. I'll do the other one, and we'll be ready to go. Check off the excess. Okay, we now have, I've got my cast iron skillet because I'm going to put this in the oven in a little bit. I got it hot. I left the bacon grease in there from cooking the bacon. Smells good. You can use whatever kind of oil you want if you don't want to do that. I got it hot. I've got it turned down now to about medium. And then my chicken breasts, we already seasoned and floured them as we talked about and stuffed them. So we're going to stick them in here and we're going to let them cook. And then probably just 5 minutes. We just want to get them kind of brown on each side. And then I'm going to put this in the oven. I've got my oven preheated to 425, and you need a hot oven to finish these off. And then they'll cook, 5 to 6 minutes in there. Use your oven thermometer. You just need to test chicken and make sure it's really done. So I would use an oven thermometer. I will use one. But I'll just get it brown in the skillet, and then we'll go to the oven. Then while it's cooking in the oven, we can make our sauce. And the sauce is just really simple. It's just kind of like a cornstarch water kind of thing. I'll show you the recipe, but it's got some cranberries and nuts in it and parsley. And you'll spoon that over the chicken when you eat it. When the chicken's all done, when you get ready to eat it. I'll show you that too. So this is cooking pretty good. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. And we're just going to get it brown, like I said. And these are such big chicken breasts. They're going to take longer to cook. Light brown. But they're going to take longer to cook in the oven. So again, use that oven thermometer. It depends on your chicken breast, how thick they are, to how fast they're going to get done and so forth. Turn that up just a little bit. It's not browning enough to suit me. And that's really all there is to it. Like I said, if you prepped up your filling the day before and you had your chicken washed and pat dry and then slip that pocket in it, don't stuff it. Just have it separate. Put that chicken in a bag, have it ready. Have your filling ready. Then you can come in from work. You can stuff that chicken breast, or for a dinner party, you can just stuff them real quickly. And then you can brown them off in your skillet. If you needed 4, you might want to use 2 skillets because these are so big they took up the whole skillet. Or you can cook them 2 at a time. It's your choice. And then put them in the oven. And this, as big as these are, will serve 2 people each. These are huge. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to try to slice them on a diagonal, and I'll get several pieces out of one of these. So this will serve easily 4 people because you slice them up. So anyway, that's how we brown them up and get them in the oven. Okay, we're gonna make our sauce while our chicken cooks. The chicken's been in the oven 15 minutes. Mine is not done yet. Like I said, they were really, really thick. And so I got my timer set for 15 more minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the sauce while that cooks. And again, check it with the meat thermometer. It has to be 180 degrees for poultry. Put your thermometer in the thickest part. It's the only way you're gonna know if it's done. I have a cup of apple juice here. Now, I don't keep apple juice around, so I bought a can of the frozen concentrate, and I just took about 1/4 of the can out because the can would make a quart, so a cup would be 1/4. About 1/4 of the, the mixture in there in the frozen can, 1/4 of it out. It added a cup of water. So I got my cup of water. We're going to bring this to a boil. We're just going to make a really quick sauce. I have a tablespoon of cornstarch here. 2 teaspoons of cornstarch and a tablespoon of water. I've already mixed those up. We're going to use that to thicken our sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in before it gets heated up too much. And we have our 1/4 cup of cranberries. So we're just going to bring all this to a boil and boil it about a minute. It's just going to make a little quick sauce. It's just really good. You can put a little pepper in there if you wanted to, but I didn't. But you could. Or you could do, if you didn't want the cranberries, you could do apricots in there, I guess, or some other kind of dried fruit. Even in your chicken, your mixture, you can put, like I said, dried cranberries, apricots. You can put just apricots or just cranberries with your bacon in there. You can do some dried figs. You can just do whatever. There's so many different ways to do even this mixture with the cream cheese. And they're all good. They're all good. It depends on your personal preferences. Then make your sauce, whatever dried fruit, make it accordingly. If you use figs, I'd put figs in here so they kind of match. And then we're gonna, when we get this chicken sliced up in little slices, then we're gonna pour the sauce over the meat when you serve it, and then sprinkle some pecans and parsley on it. Really good Sunday dinner. Really good Sunday, or Monday night dinner, whatever time you want to cook it. Okay, smoking on the burner, I guess. This is almost, it's hot. It just has to come to a boil. You know how cornstarch and water will thicken it up and just make your sauce thick. But if you don't bring it to a boil, it won't thicken up. And if you boil it too long, it'll just thicken up too much and cook away. So you just want to watch it, don't go off and leave it. Bring it to a boil, and then you'll just let it set off the side until you get ready to serve it. You can reheat it if it gets too cold. But again, so much of this, if you were doing a dinner party, you could prep some of this ahead of time. You could even make the sauce ahead of time, put it in the fridge, just heat it up. So a lot of your work could be done, and it looked like you cooked all day for your dinner party, but you didn't. Those 2 big chicken breasts, like I said, time you slice them in rings, in slices, about 1 inch or so, 1.5 inches, that's boiling. We're going to take it off. It's going to make quite a bit of servings, really. Depends on how much people eat, obviously, but chicken breast could serve 2. The way I'd eat it, it'd serve 3. So anyway, we've got this done. You can't really see it, but it's just a thickened sauce. That's all you want. Just a thickened sauce. So we've got that apple taste in there. We've got those cranberries in there. And that apple juice, cranberries. We've got our tiny bit of salt. And our cornstarch and water, and that's really all there is to it. But this will make a nice little sauce and feel good. It'll be good. Okay, we have got our chicken Sunday dinner ready, and it looks amazing. When you cook your chicken, when you put it in the oven, I did add a little extra bacon grease in there so it wouldn't get too dry on me. So if you don't have enough grease in the skillet, you might want to add, a tablespoon or so. Not a lot. You don't want it greasy either. And cook it, like I said, to 180, but don't get it burnt on the bottom. You have to kind of watch it. You might want to turn it over or something. You can turn it down, but you don't want to overcook it. You don't want to undercook chicken either. So we're going to take a piece of this. See that cream cheese stuffing in there and those apricots and cranberries. Awesome. I'll move this over so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. I'll set it right here. Plate up here where you can see that. Now what we did, I took some, well first of all, This is the sauce we made. Just gonna spoon that right over, and I did just reheat it because it had cooled off. Said you can make this the day before and reheat it. That looks so good. It looks so good. We're gonna add a few chopped pecans to the top, and just a tiny bit of parsley, however much you want. Or if you don't want any, you don't have to. It just makes such a pretty dish for one thing. And one I dropped my fork. You can make French bread. You can make French bread, garlic bread with this to make your Sunday dinner complete. But I just steamed some broccoli. Steamed a little head just for us. Steam it about 3 minutes, and then it should be done. It just needs to be crisp. Still crisp, not overdone. And then I melted some butter, and I'm just going to pour that over the top. The butter has started to set here a little bit too. It should be hotter than this is. But you just pour that over the top. Now I did sprinkle a tiny bit of salt. Take this half of a lemon, squeeze it down right over the top. And yum, yum, yum. Set this out of the way. Set this over here a little bit. We've got our plate here ready to go. Now this chicken is just so tender. You can cut it with a fork. And that sauce on there. Oh my gosh. Folks, it's going to be so good. You're going to love this dinner. You're going to love it, love it, love it. The sweetness from the cranberries and the sauce, the apple juice. Remember we made that apple juice and cranberries. Those crunchy nuts on top. A little parsley. And that cream cheese. I want to get some of that filling up. That cream cheese filling with those apricots. This is really a special dinner. That you can make it a weeknight dinner, a Sunday dinner. Just right. So there's your Sunday dinner. Or your gourmet dinner for your company, whichever you want. Or your Monday night dinner. I wouldn't, well, you could pour the sauce over there and then just refrigerate. That made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slices. I would easily serve 2 or 3 people around here. Might serve 4. Depends on how much everybody wanted to eat. But it's really a good dinner. It's one I think you'll love, and it'll become one of your favorites if you try it. Give it a try and let me know. Thanks. Bye-bye.